Was set to give new entrants necessary skills, also knowledge and behaviours to become effective organisational members. 50% members in the National Assembly and 86% in the National Council of Provinces are new. So those are quite interesting figures to get your head around. Well, let's talk to the National Council of Provinces, and who is going to talk to us about this is the newly elected chairperson, Thandi Modise. So nice to have you on the program, and a very big congratulations on your appointment.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I know you're not the first female into this role, but it is a big role, and it's lovely to have a female heading up this again, because it's vitally important in South Africa.
It is important, especially when you look at the majority of people in the provinces, in the rural areas, being female and youth.
Yeah.
So I think the role of the National Council of Provinces must necessarily get in there into that space of making sure that South Africans participate, so that we can at least make sure that the participatory democracy anticipated by the Constitution does happen.
Yeah. Let's take a step back and actually give South Africans a bit of a lesson. What is the role of the National Council of Provinces?
The Constitution says it creates the platform for provinces and the organized local government structures, a platform at a national level. In other words, all issues which are in the provinces at local government are brought up to the National Council of Provinces to gain provincial national attention.
Yeah.
It creates that space, but also it enables provinces to have a say at whatever legislation and whatever is happening at the local government through the National Council of Provinces. It brings up the mandates. It creates that space for provinces to come here as equal partners. But the interesting thing and the difference between the National Council of Provinces is that it mainly works on provincial mandates rather than on the party mandate.
Yeah.
It's only on a rare occasion when there is a particular piece of legislation that you actually look for party opinions and mandates.
All right. Now, it's been quite a move for you. You were the Premier of the Northwest Province, and now moving into this role as the Chairperson of the National Council of Provinces. Is it a big transition?
It's not. It's not a big transition. It's, for me, just been a learning curve. I started here as an ordinary MP, was the chairperson of the Joint Standing Committee for 8 years, became the Speaker of the Northwest, became the Premier, and now all that experience comes into play because the National Council of Provinces is a bit of a hybrid between your pure executive and your pure legislature work. It's a bit of a hybrid, so it's...
Yeah, it's been an easy transition for you.
It is.
Good. I'm happy to hear that. Now, I mentioned in the beginning that 86% of the NCOP members are new. Now, I also spoke about this training that has been conducted. Talk to me about this training. What goes into it?
It's a simple orientation, know your way around Parliament, but the important thing is know the support that you get as a parliamentarian to be a better public representative, know the rules of the game, and therefore we've taken members over the separation of powers, the Powers and Immunities Act, and importantly, the rules of the two houses, which they need to really know to be able to navigate their way, not to get onto the wrong foot of both houses, but also to represent their constituencies better.
Yeah. Looking ahead, the year ahead for the NCOP, what are some of the challenges and the things that you'll be looking at this year?
I think we are looking at a very interesting put together makeup of characters in the NCOP. You've got very old and the very young. You've got the experienced, very few of them, and the young and the ones who are raring to go. Our training went very well, so we think we are going to be having interesting debates in the NCOP, and that is our job. Mm-hmm. We are also looking ahead at a South Africa which is getting into its fifth term of democracy. And therefore we need, as the NCOP, to be relooking at some of our old programs. Taking Parliament to the people, is that enough to do it once a year or twice a year? How do you really pull the inputs of communities into our work as the NCOP? To what extent can the inputs pure inputs of the constituencies begin to influence legislation, we're going to be doing a lot of reading, a lot of studying, and a lot of being within our communities this year.
Yeah, indeed. Lots of challenges on your plate as well, because it's a big role to fulfill, and I imagine there's a lot resting on your shoulders. Your immediate challenge as you come into this, you spoke about the year ahead, but what is it that you're going to tackle on as a matter of urgency?
Well, the Parliament has passed an act. And the Parliament sets up a number of structures. One of them is the Parliamentary Oversight Authority, which is a role played by the Speaker of the National Assembly and the chairperson. We put in that structure together. We must make sure that it works so that even the legislative sector is held to account. The second immediate thing that the two of us need to do, Mambete and myself, is to ensure that we bring, as per the Constitutional Court findings, we bring the legislative sector in line as far as the Legislative Financial Management Acts were concerned. We also need to make sure that the structure, the organograms of the Parliament fall into place so that we begin to work properly. So for me, it's doing the administration behind the scenes, but also making sure that members are trained and constituencies understand better the role of the NCOP. If you speak to people in South Africa, they think there is only one house of Parliament in the National Assembly. So necessarily we need to get out of the shadow and begin to get out there, because more than the National Assembly, the National Council of Provinces must really get there. We've got challenges in the municipalities. That is another function of the NCOP. So we need to get in there and begin to mitigate, mediate, make sure things happen.
The best of luck for your term. We wish you everything of the best. This is the new chairperson of the NCOP, the National Council of Provinces, Thandi Modise. Thank you.
Very much, yeah.
All right, now also